Fundamentals of Hindu Faith, Part 26. Indeed, the company continued the patronage. Company means East India Company, the British East India Company. Indeed, the company continued patronage accorded by indigenous rulers to many Hindu temples and forbade its Indian troops to embrace Christianity. The growing evangelical conscience in England brought this policy to an end with the renewal of company's charter in 1813. The company's policy then became one of strict impartiality in matters of religion, but missionaries were allowed to work throughout its territory. Thus Christian ideas began to spread. Hindu reform movement, Brahmo Samaj. The pioneer of the reform was Ram Mohan Roy. His intense belief in strict monotheism and in the evils of image worship began early and probably was derived from Islam. Because at first he had no knowledge of Christianity, he later learned English and in 1814 settled in Calcutta, where he was prominent in the movement for encouraging education of a Western type. His final achievement was the foundation of a Brahmo Samaj Society of God, 1828. Roy remained a Hindu, wearing the sacred cord, keeping most of the customs of Orthodox Brahman, but his theology was drawn from several sources. He was chiefly inspired by the 18th century deism, rational belief in transcendent creator God, and Unitarianism. The belief in God was essential oneness, the gods being essential oneness. But some of his writings suggest that he was aware of the religious ideas of Freemasons, a secret fraternity that espoused some deistic concepts. Several of his friends were members of the Masonic Lodge in Calcutta. His ideas of the afterlife were obscure, and it is possible that he did not believe in the doctrine of transmigration. Roy was one of the first higher class Hindus to visit Europe, where he was much admired by the intelligentsia of Britain, France. After Roy's death, Debendranath Tagore, father of the greatest poet of modern India, Rabindranath Tagore, 1861-1941, became leader of the Brahmo Samaj, and under his guidance a more mystical note was sounded by the society. Tagore also promoted literacy and vigorously opposed idolatry and the practice of sati. In 1863 he founded Shanti Niketan, Abode of Peace, a retreat for the rural Bengal. The third great leader of the Brahmo Samaj, Keshab Chandra Sen, was a reformer who completely abolished caste in the society and admitted women as member. As his theology became more syncretistic and electric, a Shiism developed and more conservative faction remained under the leadership of Tagore. Keshab's faction, Brahmo Samaj of India, adopted the scripture, a selection of theistic texts gathered from all the main religions. At the same time, it became more Hindu in its worship, employing Sankirtana, devotional singing and dancing, and Nagar Kirtana, street procession of Chaitanya movement, an intensely devotional form of Hinduism established by the Bengali mystic, a poet of Chaitanya, in 1881. Keshab founded Church of the New Dispensation, Nava Bidhan, for the purpose of establishing the truth of all great religions in an institution that believed in an institution that would believe and that he believed would replace them all. When he died in 1884, the Brahmo Samaj began to decline. Arya Samaj, a reformer of the different character, was Dayanand Saravasti, who was trained as a yogi but steadily lost faith in yoga and in many other aspects of Hinduism,